Hi everyone, this is Janelle from AnnounceMyMove. We're going to get started on our Beyond the Basics class for those of you with Coldwell Banker Vanguard Realty. And so this orientation video will be added to your orientation links. Now I'm going to assume everyone on this call has already been oriented on how to get into your account. You've learned about the AnnounceMyNews program, how to edit your information. You've already learned about the custom create function with this button right here, and also how to do your AnnounceMyListings, okay? So we're gonna focus on that text editor, and I wanna show you a little bit more tech-savvy things to do with it to add more content-rich, media-rich content to the text editor. Now, both text editors that we have are slightly different. So the first one I wanna do is go into our AnnounceMyListing. Okay, I'm gonna show you functionally they do the same thing. The text editor with AnnounceMyListing is our newest version. And when we upgrade the create from scratch, it'll be mirroring this AnnounceMyListing text editor. So I want to start there first, okay? And I'll just show you the few little differences. So what I'm going to do is actually go into an announcement. I'm not sure how old these are or whatever. Let me just take a quick preview and see if we've got photos and everything for these. We do. Okay, so let's just take this Fleming Island. We're going to take Kim's listing here. We're not going to actually send it out, but I am going to do some fancier things in this text editor, okay? And show you a few things. So I'm just going to snag this address real fast so that I have it on my desktop. All right, so when I go into this announcement on Margaret's walk, and I edit this, and I go into that text editor. So let's talk about the property comments first. The text editor is the same whether you're in the property comments, the client version or agent version of the verbiage there. This is the body of the announcement. We already know that we can do some basic things like bolding and bullet pointing and that kind of stuff, right? That's nothing new. So I'm just going to take a minute and just format this for her in case she does want to use it. She likes what I do here, okay? Oh, maybe this is going to be a little too complicated. Let's see, walls of windows, new carpet, tons of tile, and then let's just do new paint, high ceilings. This home will sell itself. Okay, so maybe she does something like this, and hang on, let's go back, and then you get kind of the idea here. Okay. So you do your formatting, and then make sure you go in there and preview it and kind of see how it's looking as you do this. All right. Now, we all know how to do this kind of stuff. This is real basic. As we increase the size of it, make sure it's nice and easy to read. Okay. And then if you want to do something like adding in a Google map or a YouTube video, anything like that. Okay. So let me demonstrate for you how that works, okay? Let's do a Google map first. So when I go into maps.google.com and I pop in that address, okay, and I search for that address, you're going to see the map of that address. Right here, there is a button that says link, okay? And you see where it says paste HTML to embed in website? So if you take that iframe, you want to make sure you get the whole thing. If you don't get the whole thing, it'll break our code and it'll make the page look a little weird. Okay, so make sure you get that whole thing. Whoops, I just didn't do that right. I pasted by accident. Let's try it again. Okay, so there's that iframe. Make sure you grab the whole thing, copy it, go into our text editor, and then this is where you're going to use that source button. When you click on that button, everything converts into HTML. Now, I don't know anything about HTML, but I know if I put my cursor here down at the bottom and I paste that iframe in there, you can see that it's already got a pre-formatted height and width, and it ends with a view larger map. Okay, see that right there? When I convert that back, you're actually going to see the map has been embedded. Let's go ahead and click Next to save it. And then when I come up to that announcement and I refresh it, okay, it's just taking a second to load, you can see the formatting has changed. And we'll give it a second to load up that video, that map. But essentially what you've done is you've embedded that map right on the page, okay? And you'll see it comes up here in a second in iframe. You can actually take your mouse, and let's say we want to center that map. So I just highlight it all the way to the very end, and then I can center it so it's moved up in the middle, okay? Let's go ahead and click on next to save it. Let's see if it's populated in there yet. There we go, okay? So now you've got that map running right on the page, okay? It's still thinking because it's still pulling it off of there. But you'll see it's loading up here, and then it's going to be moving around here in a second, okay? So let's go back into that client version again, into that property comments, and just play around with getting it exactly where you want it to look, okay? Click on next again, be using that preview button, okay? And then there's that map right there on the page, interacting right there. Do you see that? What do you guys think about that? I think that looks it's kind of cool that you have that right in the body of the announcement. Yes, they've got a view map button here, okay? But when you add like this media-rich content in the body announcement, it just makes you look real cool, And all it is a cut and a paste right from that embed code on Google Maps, okay? Are there any questions about how to embed a map on the page? Type me a little message back, let me know. All right, so the next thing that we can do that I want to demonstrate, and Stacy's saying, nope, seems simple enough. It's the same thing, it's the exact same thing for embedding a video. So if I were to go over to YouTube, how many of you guys have ever embedded a video from YouTube onto your website, blog site, or something of that nature? Type me a little message back. Oh, Stacy does it all the time. Okay, so it's exactly the same way, Stacy. Some other people may not be as familiar with it, but let's just say that we were going to take this video of G. Dunstan, okay? And we wanted to take a look at this video. Let's go ahead and open up this video here, okay? And you're going to see, I'll go ahead and pause it. There's a share button. Do you guys see that share button? You put your mouse over it, it says share or embed this video. When you click on the share button, it takes you to a little section here where it gives you the hyperlink for the URL, but it also gives you another little button that says embed. When you click on that embed button, now it gives you some additional options, okay? It gives you this object width and height. This should look very similar to the embed code for Google Maps, but it gives you the ability to change the size of that video, and you can even include a custom width and height. And what it's doing is it's changing this field right here in terms of the size. So I find that the first two are actually pretty good in terms of sizes for our template. So I'd stay with either the first one or the second one. You'll also notice it says use old embed code. YouTube went to an iframe technology as well as an object width and height. The old embed code with YouTube is more stable, and so many times it's automatically checked to use the old embed code, but I just wanted to mention that to you, okay? So if I took this and I copied it again, same exact thing as that Google map, and I went into those property comments again, it works exactly the same way as embedding a Google map in there. I'm going to go ahead and take out that map and just delete that out, okay? Now when I convert that into HTML, okay, I can put my cursor where I want that video to be and paste in that video. Same exact thing. You're seeing the object width and height, and it's ending with the end object code. When I click on next, I've saved it. I come up to that client version again, and now as you scroll down, you'll see a video on the page that will run right there, okay? Keeps you all within the framework of your announcement and your brand on the right-hand side. Okay, so let's brainstorm a little bit. So let's say you're doing a listing announcement and you want to do a virtual appointment. Like we saw Ozzie Martin, one of those local thought leaders when I was out there a few weeks ago, and we did that social marketing class on advanced aspects of Facebook. He did a virtual appointment. Maybe you're doing those kinds of videos, or maybe it's a video of you just simply walking around the neighborhood and showing off some of the features of the community. Those are the kind of fun videos that you can embed right here. Or maybe it's just you talking about this property and what special things are about this particular community, that kind of thing. Okay. Now, same thing as your Google map, you can center it by simply going into where that video is located. Okay, and making sure that you got your cursor right at the very beginning of it, and go all the way to the very end. And now you can center it. Now, if you ever do something and you think, ooh, I obviously did something wrong here, the only thing you'll probably see is that when you refresh the page, maybe you did something wrong, and you'll know you did something wrong when this banner over here on the right-hand side goes blank. No big deal, just means that somehow this code didn't take the entire code. You just need to go back in, delete it out, and try again, okay? So this just gives you the idea of how to center that video within the frame of your announcement, okay? Any questions about embedding video? Type me a little message back. And I'm just gonna go in real quickly and delete that out so that we don't have that video on her thing. Type me a little message back. How are you guys doing so far? The next thing I want to show you, and I'll be looking for your messages to me, okay? So I showed you how to do the video and the map, which are identical. And then there's something called Photobucket. I oftentimes have agents create a PDF flyer for their property. Do you guys do any of that too, where you create a flyer for your properties? I'm assuming you do. You've got some nice homes out there. I'm sure you're doing flyers, right? So what about if you want to put that flyer in the body of the announcement? Well, one of the programs you could use is something called Photobucket. Okay, I'm going to take you over there now. When you go into Photobucket, I would suggest setting up an account with them. Okay, it's free. Okay, they're free version. They have a free version. And when you get in there, you just sign up. I'm going to go ahead and just log into my account. And what Photobucket does, it gives you the ability to, incorrect, no it's not. Oh, please, JODissue, let's try it again. Loading, 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 there we go. All right, so when you get into your Photobucket account, what Photobucket does is it gives you the ability to upload images, JPEG images, and then it will give you an HTML code so you can embed that image into your website, your blog site, your AnnounceMyMove page. Okay, so here's an example of a property flyer that we uploaded in a demo that I was doing out in Texas. Okay, so here's an example of a JPEG, a PDF flyer that they converted first into a JPEG image. That's the thing, when you have a PDF flyer and you want to put it on Photobucket, the first thing you need to do is convert it into a JPEG image. That's step number one. Step number two is you want to get that JPEG image sized properly before you upload it onto Photobucket. When I say sized properly, I'm really mostly referring to the width of the announcement in pixels. On our page extends down and down and down and down, okay? It can be as long as you want that image to be. The difference is you don't want that image to be too wide because it will start to distort and squeeze this image over. So the maximum width that you want to use is about 700 pixels wide. That's my recommendation, okay? So when you get your image sized properly in a JPEG image, upload it onto Photobucket, and by doing so, it will give you an HTML code. And if you look over here on the right-hand side, follow my cursor over here, this is the code they give you for this particular page. And there's your HTML code. You see that right there on the right-hand side? Now watch what happens. When I click my mouse, it says copied. Watch. Did you see that in yellow? It said copied. I'll do it again. Okay? I copied that HTML code. Now I go into my property remarks, okay, and I convert this into HTML, that source button. That's the key. Make sure you convert it into HTML. Put your cursor where you want and paste in that code. Exactly the same thing, but now it's sourced to Photobucket. I know I've got the beginning of it and all the way to the end of that code, okay? And when I click my source button back, you'll actually see that now that JPEG image has been embedded on the page, okay? So let me go ahead and save it and preview that flyer, that announcement. I'll refresh it here, okay? And now you've got that PDF flyer right in the body of your announcement. Okay, doesn't that look nice? Same thing applies if you want to center it and so forth. So that's how you use Photobucket. Now the other thing you can do in the body of your announcements is you can add hyperlinks. Okay, you ready? I'm going to just take this out real fast. Let me convert it into HTML to make sure I get the whole code out of there. Okay. She spelled amenities wrong. I'll just fix that while I'm here. And there you go. Now, let's say, for example, you have a hyperlink. I don't know what Margaret's Walk is. Beautiful gated Margaret's Walk. Let's assume that this is a country club, and you want to make this a hyperlink over to their community, their golf club, or their whatever website they may have. When you take your mouse and you highlight over the words that you want hyperlinked, over here on this right-hand side, if you put your mouse over that little image, it says link. And if I click on that button, it's going to open up a URL, an opportunity for you to put a URL here. So let's assume it's margaretwalk.com. Okay, margaretwalk.com. Okay. Now, Margaret's Walk is now hyperlinked. You see that? That'll take me over to that website. Now, I don't know if there really is a Margaret's Walk or not, so I can go in here and do unlink, and now it's gone. Okay? So that's how you embed video, maps, a Photobucket JPEG image, adding hyperlinks. I want to show you, let me get back out of here, and I want to show you something else, okay? So let's get out of this particular announcement. Let's go back into her account. I want to show you one more thing before I get into how to take an article from a website, okay? Let's go into a different kind of announcement, one that we've created from scratch. The text editor is slightly different, and so I want you to see the differences, okay? When I go into that time change notice that we created, that I created for Kim, and I look under the client comments and the member comments section. You guys learned about that in our my basic orientation to the Create Announcement Wizard for creating from scratch announcements. This text editor looks a little different. It's exactly the same functionally. The difference is the source button is located right here. There's your toggle HTML source. When you want to hyperlink something, you simply highlight the words, right-click with your mouse, and that window will open, and you can type in your URL, okay? Other than that, everything functions exactly the same, okay? Now, what I did here, if you preview this announcement, I did a be sure to spring forward this Sunday night, okay? And by the way, if any of you guys want this particular announcement put into your queue, type me a little message. I'll be happy to do it. It literally takes me 2 minutes, okay? What I did is I went on to I found this website, webexhibits.org, okay? And let me take you over there now so you can see what it looks like, daylight savings time. And as I was going on here, I thought, wow, there's a lot of cool little, kind of informative things, okay? And I thought, this is kind of neat. And so what I did is I took this little snippet right here, okay? And I thought, I'm going to copy this, and I want this to be put into my announcement, okay, as a little teaser to get people over to this web page that I found. So I took this little teaser, copied it, and I put it into a Word document, okay? And actually, I put it in right here. And when I put it onto the Word document, I saved it for text only. I wanted to strip out the code that came over that I didn't see, but I brought over to this Word document. I didn't want any of the code from the web page. So I took just the text. So you'll see that I did some formatting. I took out, if you look back at what here, I took out these little lines, and I took out this check out our iPhone, iPod Touch app. I took that out, and I just kept just the text. I formatted the text right on my word processor here for my Word document. I went ahead and added a personal little message at the top and a little personal message at the bottom. And then I hyperlinked right here by simply typing in the words that I wanted hyperlinked. And I went up to the formatting, and I actually inserted a hyperlink. Do you see that right there? Okay. So I made that a hyperlink, and I did it all within the environment of a Word document. Okay. Now I can do this on our text editor too. Just pick one or the other. If you do part of it on a Word document and part of it formatted on our text editor, it gets a little hard to manipulate. It doesn't work exactly as you would think it would be. Either do all the text editing in a Word document and then just simply cut and paste it, or do all of the text editing within our text editor, okay? So then all I did was took this, copied it, and went right into the wizard, and I pasted it. And that's all I did right here, okay? So when I preview it, you'll see it's exactly as I formatted it on the Word document, okay? So the key here is that if you pull some content off of a web page, and you do a little teaser and then a little ... read more, okay? Just make sure that you put it into the Word document and stripped out all of the code behind the scenes before you bring it into our text editor. Now this is a little advanced feature, so you're going to kind of play around with it a little bit, okay? Our text editor can get a little temperamental when you bring over code that you don't realize is there, okay? If you have any issues with it at all, you just pick up the phone and call me. I'll hop into that announcement with you, see what code you brought over, and I'll remove it for you, okay? You get better at this the more you do it, okay? This image right here is one that I took off of Microsoft Office Clip Art, which is a fantastic site for great photos. They've got some, on Microsoft Office Clip Art, they've got some cartoon kinds of photos and so forth, but it's free clip art. But they do have some amazing photographs in a variety of different things, from business to flowers to holidays to this time change clock. Lots and lots to choose from. I highly recommend that you think about using that, because ultimately when you post this on your social media sites, you want to make sure that this first image pops. You want people's eyes drawn to it. So I really highly recommend that the first image be something striking to draw people in, okay? Are there any questions regarding adding articles from a website or anything else I've talked to up to this point? And I see a little message from Stacy. Please add Paige to her queue. I'll be happy to do that. And Susan, you want me to put one in your queue as well? Absolutely. Leslie, do you want me to do one for you? Yes. Okay. So I'm going to put you guys on my list right now. So I'm going to do Paige. All right. And Susan. And Leslie. Can you guys just type me a little message back real quickly? Give me your email address and your password to your account, okay? Just in case you've changed it, okay? And Stacy says, I used this earlier to post an article and it was so easy. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that, Stacy. That's awesome. And Leslie, I got your information. That's fantastic. I'll be happy to do that. Just make sure I got your password, and I'll, as soon as I'm off this call, it'll take me just a few minutes, and I'll put them in your queue, okay? So Stacy and Susan, just give me the same thing, your email address and your password, okay? All right, so there's one more thing I want to show you. It's kind of neat, and I don't know if I would use it all the time, but I thought I'll just show it to you in case you've never seen it, okay? When you're on Facebook, and let's see if they've changed it. Let's see if they've changed now with the timeline. It may be in a different spot. Facebook badges. Where are you now? If you ever come across, they've kind of moved them around, it looks like. There is the ability to create a Facebook badge. Let's try to look for it here. Facebook badge. Facebook pages, that's not what I want. I want to go down to their help center. Let's see, help. See if we can find where they put this now. All right, so Facebook badge. Okay, create a badge. Okay, when you go into create a badge, there's the link right there. They used to have it in a particular location. It's changed now, but you can create a badge. Basically what a badge is, you can have a page badge, a like badge, a profile badge, etc. Basically what a badge is it gives you an image that you can edit and say what kinds of, let me just edit this badge. What kinds of things do I want to have on this particular image that will then be hyperlinked over to my Facebook profile, for example. So I can say, you know, which of these items I want to have within this image. I can make this image vertical, horizontal, and a couple of columns. Let's just assume I'm going to keep it looking like this, okay? Now I can take this image, and if you look at other, it says copy the code below and paste it into your website. Remember, we are a web page. So anytime you find an HTML code to embed in a web page, you can also do that on our announcement. Same thing, just make sure you get the whole thing from beginning to end. See where it says end? You can copy that, go into your announcement, and let's just say we wanted to paste that at the very end by our signature line, okay? And I post that big, long, enormous code right in there, okay? Now I convert that back. You're going to see that right below Kim's signature line is my Facebook badge, which clicks over and connects people to my, my profile, okay? I just wanted to show you that there are other places other than videos, maps, and things like that. You're going to start to see more and more of these badges or so what I call social plugins, okay, where they give you an HTML code to embed in your website. And you can use those here, okay? Again, the key is just to get from the very beginning to the very end. So I'm going to go ahead and just delete that out. I'm sure Kim would not like to have that in there. And save that. Preview it. Just make sure that you got all that code gone. And I did. Okay? All right. What questions do you guys have for me? Leslie said they are on the front. I'm not sure what that means, Leslie. I may have missed that. What other questions do you guys have for me? That was pretty much all I had for you in terms of using that text editor. If you know anything more about HTML, how to program in HTML, you are welcome to go to town on this, okay? I'm just showing you the basic stuff that I know how to do, that we see used most often. And you know, there's other programs like Flickr and other kinds of cool programs out there that also give you HTML embed codes, okay? So experiment with those, have fun with this, make your, oh, when I was looking for badge, Leslie, that's where you found it, okay. When you're playing around with this, just get creative and think about really this is about creating content rich, media rich content in the body of your announcement. Don't write too many words. People don't like to read too much. They prefer to watch and listen. Video is very powerful, and it just makes you look so techy and so cool when you can add these kinds of things to your announcement. Okay? Any other questions for me? That's all I have for you.